Well, that's right. Welcome back, folks, to the Under Armour Notre Dame deal is expiring. It's time to talk Notre Dame Clothiers edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thank you for being here. I'm happy to be here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. I don't know what you're doing if you're here every day and you don't. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me out as well. Notifications on. That way you know why. That way you're alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me in your ear hole. You can find me. Call in line 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Fighting Irish Wire. Booty doot doot. You type those letters in your computer box. Notre Dame stories come out. It's magic. The internets are crazy. So, it always seems to be a hot topic with Notre Dame. Everything that comes up with Notre Dame's a hot topic. But social media is blowing up today. Twitter is exploding right now, folks. Notre Dame's deal with Under Armour's about to expire. And the question is, what should Notre Dame do next? Now, there are a few different intellectual angles one could approach this with, and we're going to hit them. Let's first look at the numbers and try and get our minds around that part of it. 2014, the 10-year deal started, and it's around $90 million payout. So 10 years from 14 makes next year, 24, the final year, and it expires, okay? Now, that isn't even the most interesting part. You know what I found really interesting in one of the articles about this dynamic was I did not know that a part of Notre Dame's deal with Under Armour includes stock shares. I didn't know that. And by the way, those Under Armour stock shares have declined from 27 a share in 2019 all the way down to like 771 now. Ooh, I wonder how many shares Notre Dame has. That's interesting to me. I would like more information on that myself. I just did not expect to read that detail. And so, listen, it's like you had the pandemic and everything in that window with the stock price. Like, I get all that, but it's just an interesting note to me, the severe decrease there. And in general, there are a lot of complaints about Under Armour. Cheap material. I know a lot of people who buy Under Armour Notre Dame stuff, and the patches come off the ND or the logo's fraying after a few washes. Bro, when somebody's paying what Under Armour charges for anything, that should not ever happen. It's like, you can't charge somebody $100 for something and then they have to go, how many times can I wash this before the name falls off? Like, no, that should never happen. And it's happening a lot. Okay. Forget that when I buy the high-end stuff, it's like costs more than my rent did sophomore year of college. I'm not exaggerating, right around $200 for some of those high-end polos I have. Yet they'll say it's moisture wicking. I understand that. I do a lot of sweating when Notre Dame's playing. I appreciate the moisture wick, but not for no $179 plus tax. So here's the deal. Let's take this a step further, because I know the next part of this discussion is, all right, let's talk Jordan Brand, Jumpman, Nike, Adidas, New Balance. What are we doing here? First things first, before we get to that, which is the fun part of this debate, ask yourself, what is your number one priority for Notre Dame's next team clothier? Think in your mind, what is the number one priority you're looking for Notre Dame to accomplish by whatever the next iteration of their clothier deal looks like? Is it style? You want cool stuff to buy? You want that Nike swoosh on the Notre Dame jerseys or that Jumpman logo? You want to talk about branding? You have a Jumpman logo on the Notre Dame stuff. Like, you're hitting some sports royalty there. I understand some people don't like the basketball Jumpman on a football thing. Whatever. So I'll ask you to think, what is your number one priority for this as a Notre Dame fan? I'm going to tell you what mine is, and it might not be on your radar, but it should be. Player safety is always first when I'm discussing who's going to be manufacturing our uniforms and, more importantly, our cleats. An independent research study done, I think it was probably 1 year ago, 2 years ago, looked at all the major college football schools, their clothier brands and cleats. This independent research, not funded by anybody who had a dog in the fight, found that teams that wear Under Armour cleats have more lower body injuries than those that wear the other brands, and it was noticeable by a statistically significant outlying amount. That's a huge red flag. I leave Under Armour for that right away. They're out. I don't care how cool the uniforms are. We're going to do cool off of the fans. I don't care. Safety comes first. And if you're going to present to me independent research by some physiological institution, or I think it was like a grant that they gave some group to study this stuff, and you're going to tell me Under Armour has an outlying amount of these lower leg injuries compared to Nike, Adidas, Jumpman, whatever else is in the market, that's a red flag. Can't do it. I can't do it. I can't sign up for that again. All right? We always talk about Notre Dame's challenges to exist and win in the modern era. Worrying that you have cleats that are less stable or safe, then that is a problem you bring on yourself that you need to avoid. You need to avoid it. Now, if this research suggested, there's a slight uptick in injuries, but it's not a significant amount, that's a different story. But when the headline here is one of these brands is an outlier with more injuries, you're dead to me right then. Can't do it. Can't do it. Okay? So what comes next? Here's the fun part. This is going to show my age and show when I came up with Notre Dame. Is Champion not coming back? I would love me some Lou Holtz Champion vintage stuff, man. All right. Let's assume Champions. Now, I know they're making a renaissance, coming back in like a retro hip way, but I don't believe they're going all the way into the uniform market. That would be my pick, is bring back some vintage Lou Champion stuff. All right. The next one is New Balance would just be hilarious. I'm seeing this talked about on Twitter today, all day today. I understand New Balance is kind of getting more modern, kind of in vogue in its own way, appealing to a younger market. I get that they're like a big brand with younger people. I'm sorry, though. When I hear the word New Balance, there is only one image that comes to my mind, and it is the white, blocky, ugly lawnmower 5s that every single 60-year-old suburban dad in America owns 3 pairs of, half of which have a green grass stain around the edges. I'm sorry, that's it. When I hear Under Armour, that's what I pick. You know what I'm referencing. Everywhere you go out to eat, every store you go to, there's 20 guys that are middle-aged, like suburban dads, and there's no style. It's those ugly, they look like the knockoffs of the ugly Nikes that are the lawn mowing kind, just blocky with no style and an ugly swoosh and a big heel. And there's nothing like sleek to them at all. And they all seem extra wide, like they're made for all morbidly obese people that can't get their foot in a regular shoe. I'm sorry. Like, you can tell me they're like modern now all you want. That's all I picture is I call them the lawn mowing fives. Like, you know, you got the Jordan fives. Those are the lawn mowing fives. And then next year they come out with the lawn mowing sixes. Same exact style. All like white with that lame NB and blue outlet. There's just no style at all. So that is funny to me. I'm just picturing our guys wearing the lawn mowing shoes, but with spikes at the end of them. And it's just funny to me. I know baseball teams have New Balance and they have some newer styles. I'm just telling you where my head goes. And it's hilarious. All right. Now let's get real. Let's talk about some real damn options. Jumpman seems like a good idea to me. And you want to know why? You got to think bigger with Notre Dame. Connect the dots with Notre Dame. Nothing is as upfront as it seems, okay? Connect the dots with me. I like the Jumpman because I feel like that opens up Jumpman NIL stuff for Notre Dame. I've said that about Michigan too, that I'm surprised they don't leverage Jumpman more in some way. If there's an angle to be able to do that and link Notre Dame's brand with Jordan, I could get down with that. If you wanted to go with Nike, like fine. Again, sure, fine. Adidas doesn't seem as modern and hip to me. Like we were already with Adidas. So I don't know, people are ready to see something different. We were with them for a long time. A lot of their clothes were ugly as sin. Ugly as sin. And you know what else? This may come off rude, but was Adidas the clothier for the Weiss era? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that time frame, the offerings of Notre Dame apparel being atrociously ugly and with no sense of modernity or style at all. And the irony in that is if it lines up with Weiss, that makes a lot of sense visually, that it all was not appealing visually in any way. And I'm sorry, that kind of stuff matters to me. I want to see Marcus Freeman walking around styling and profiling in Jordan stuff. I like the way that comes off about our brand and being sleek and on the cutting edge. Teaming up with a winning brand like Jordan, that seems like a good idea to me. So Jumpman, sure. I'm not going to complain about Nike. Adidas, we already been there, done that. The merchandise is boring. We've seen what the uniforms look like. Get a Jumpman deal and wrap NIL around it somehow. That'd be my number one path. If there's any way to leverage that at all, which is what I've been asking about Michigan, go for it. So any way that they go off injury alone, anything but Under Armour is going to be an increase for me. I'm going to be glad with that. And then we're going to end with this. Whoever the next clothier is, can we actually, as fans, purchase all of the stuff Marcus Freeman wears? Every day you see a picture of Freeman, he's wearing this awesome one-off Notre Dame hoodie or polo or whatever that none of us can even buy. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it would be really nice that if you're gonna put Marcus in front of the camera and he's wearing all this sharp Notre Dame stuff, can we buy it? Like Notre Dame people want to spend money on it. Let us get the Freeman collection. And by the way, that's what you call it. Jesus, do I have to run these people's business for them? You, Nike, Jumpman, whoever it is, you call it the coach's corner. And it's Freeman's wardrobe. And you have him looking all stylish and you can buy it. Jeez, like I'm in my basement and I come up with better ideas than these people that get paid $1 million a year. You call it the Freeman coach's corner. And then as the seasons change, you release different stuff he wears. Why is that so hard? I don't get it. I'm in my basement and I have more better ideas than these people. So can we get some of that stuff? All right. That's my speech on this. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Are there any considerations here that I'm missing? Are there any brands that are in the mix that I neglected to address What do you prefer? Let me know.